Mic check, 2 J's hit the stage like thunder. Friendship, solid rock, no cracks, no blunders. Navigating life round the kids and the hustle. 30s hit hard, but we flex in the muscle. 2 J's in a pod where the truth gets spilled. Real talk kings, every vibe gets fulfilled. Dads by day, on the mic we just kill. Friendship eternal, we keep it too real. Jason got the sagas, Johnny rolling with the truth. Convos hit deeper than the roots of our youth. Bar for bar, it's a therapy sesh we supply. Navigators of the vibe, no cap, no lie. Topics ain't safe, from diapers to dilemmas. Dealing with drama or revisiting tremors. Podcasts, waves hit sharp, slice like katana. Real dads, real men, hotter than a sauna. A journey of milestones, we live and we laugh. 2 J's, 2 mics, no scripts, no drafts. From midnight feeds to battles.
All right, what's up, Jason? How's it going?
What's going on, man?
Happy birthday.
Appreciate it. Happy birthday to you too.
Yeah, thank you. It's our birthday week. We took a week off.
Yeah, we did take a week off.
We needed it. We were going through some crazy issues.
Yeah, something like that.
And wow, we have some great stories. I don't know if you want to share or not.
Yeah, I do want to share.
Yeah. I'm actually excited. I have questions here that I wrote for you. No, I'm just kidding. You look all surprised and shit. You were like, what? Nah, I know. Well, let's start with me, right?
Yeah, go for it.
So I'm happy to be here. I'm happy that I was able to celebrate my birthday yesterday. Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. And then I know you celebrated your birthday on Wednesday. Or Thursday.
It was Thursday. Yeah.
Thursday. Sorry. Nice. Jason's from April 17, and I'm from April 19. We're almost 10 years apart. Kind of, right? No, 9 years apart, but we're almost 10. So it does make a big difference. That's why we are a good contrast.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah. So
what did you do for your birthday?
I went out to brunch to La Botellas. Shout out to La Botellas. They had some salsa dancers there every like 30 minutes.
What did you eat?
I got full, but I think I got the huevos rancheros with steak. It was okay. My wife got the chilaquiles. My daughter, I'm happy for her. She's coming into her own. I'm like, do you want to order from the kids meal? She's like, no. She ordered some huevos rancheros.
Do you think like that restaurant is more like the food's not that great, or do you like
it's good? I mean, it's
you think it's more of like a atmosphere and like?
Well, yeah. I mean, they have like those. I mean, it's nice. I like it. I mean, it's local. It's close to my house. I mean, we had a lot of things that day. My boss. Well, I call him my boss, but my friend Guillermo, which he's an excellent mortgage broker, by the way. American Wholesale Loans. Free advertisement. You owe me one. But anyways, he had a birthday for his son too. He had it at the Ninja Gym, something like that.
Ninja Kids.
Yeah, gymnasium. It's in Sandy.
Oh, then maybe it's a different one.
Yeah, it's a different one. It's not Ninja Kids. It's Ninja something. It's like from that TV show that the American Ninja or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So they have all like the obstacles. Well, we were there for a while. It was fun.
What obstacles did you go on, Johnny?
None. The couch obstacle. But other than that, then have a late night dinner. We discover a hot pot that stays open late, all the way into 1 a.m.
Really?
Yeah.
How was that?
It was good. When with my wife's family. It was nice. We had a couple of conversations and debates about relationships.
What was that like? What was the debate?
Saludos a las tóxicas.
Yeah.
No, it was interesting. And then I want to share with you, Jason. You know, and with the audience, I'm happy to say that I survived my first motorcycle accident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was last 2 weeks ago. We missed a week, so sorry guys.
Yeah.
But
because of the bike accident.
The week before, after we recorded the podcast, we went on a motorcycle ride. and Johnny got into a little
Fender bender. No, I got hit face on while I was waiting for me to merge into the lane. I was in the medium, which they call it the safe zone, but
it wasn't very safe, huh?
no, because it was heavy traffic, and it was
Yeah.
at the end of the ride too. We were just coming back to the shop I could pick up some of my stuff and bounce. But it was heavy traffic. I got on the medium to merge into the lane, what you're supposed to do. And I saw that there was a street opening coming up, so I know that's a big danger zone. So I'm waiting, but you see, people don't respect bikers, and that what pisses me off. Nobody knows. They don't do common courtesy. It's like they close the lanes so you could go in. That's why I'm very now adamant about doing the lane splits. But anyways, I was waiting there to merge, and this car comes out of nowhere. She merges into the safe zone and hits me head on. I blacked out a little bit, but I managed to end up like standing like this. How would you say, with my legs open, and I have engine guards, so that kind of saved me a little bit. I was happy to be alive, first of all,
Yeah.
and Jason was up front with me getting ready to his shop. I rode because it helps me with my mental health, and with all the operations coming. Before I go down, how I told you my bike days are coming to an end, because of the operations that I need to have in the recovery time.
Right. You're not going to be able to ride for a while?
Yeah,
Maybe do it during winter.
That's what I was thinking, but now my bike is down, so I'm waiting for talk to my attorney, waiting for some stuff. But it was an interesting experience, life changing. My body went into a little bit of a shock.
Luckily, you weren't going fast, right?
Well, I wasn't going fast at all. I was just waiting for me to merge.
Yeah. So it wasn't super bad. It could have been a lot worse.
I was happy that the other person wasn't going super fast. But at that point, I was like out of it. It was heavy. We agreed to, assess the damage and fix it ourselves. Be honest, with my other accident, the cops treated me like shit. So I don't like dealing with cops.
Yeah.
And I don't want to end up in Bukele's cárcel and shit. Even though I have all my shit straight, but and then plus I had my gun on me. Plus, I don't want to play the race card, but nowadays, racism out there. And like I said, when I got into an accident, I didn't want to do that, but that was my highlight of the 2 weeks ago, and that's why I kind of didn't want to do the podcast. And it was our birthday week, and we were all going through some crazy shit, right, Jason?
Yeah.
So how was your birthday? What'd you do?
It was cool. What did I do? I went out to eat.
Your son has the same birthday, right?
Yeah.
That's cool. Shout out to Junior,
Yeah, my son does have the same
our
birthday.
number 2 fan.
So, yeah, we went out to Longhorn. I don't know. That's a place I
like
feel
those
it's
steaks.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very good. What'd you get?
The Flo's Filet.
Oh, you always get that little small steak. Huh?
Yeah, I always get that one because I feel like it's like quality, even though it's like a small steak, but
Parece una pastilla al lado tuyo.
make it work, baby.
It's like a pill next to you. It's all like this little, and you're like, anyways.
With a little tiny knife and fork. And then I also went and watched Warfare, the movie.
Yeah, thanks for waiting for me,
Dude.
punk.
No, I already waited enough for everybody.
Nah,
That
I
movie-
told you I was okay. Anyways, we'll get into argument after the podcast.
That movie is so good. I didn't want it to end.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That
I
good?
can't sit through like long movies.
Oh
right?
no,
I get impatient. But that one, I didn't want it to end. When it was coming to an end, I was like, oh no.
One thing that I cannot do with Jason is movie references. Like, I had to make sure he saw that movie, but then by that time it kills the joke. So
Yeah. I mean, I like particular movie. That one was really good. So if you haven't watched it, go watch it in the theaters. It's really good. And yeah, that was pretty much it.
and keep your eye for Among the Eight.
Yeah.
That one's good too.
Let's do that. But yeah, I wanted to touch on like what I've been dealing with, and Johnny knows a little bit about it. And
Ooh.
yeah. So as I talked about last time with like the whole dating situation, I was seeing somebody and she decided, right, to take some time apart. And so I was like, okay, that's cool. That time apart didn't last very long.
Yep.
It was like a few days or something.
I'm telling you, because you meet the 666. Two out of the three.
And so we start, seeing each other again and talking and everything's fine. So like just some like context from what she told me. She's legally married, but she's separated, right? And so I'm like, okay, like that's cool. I've been there. And so, like I said, we were hanging out a couple times, getting to know each other, all that stuff. The other night, we're hanging out, and her, I guess, ex-husband.
Oh, soon to be ex-husband.
Yeah.
So you were somebody's Sancho fool?
No. That's not, at least that's not what I was aware.
Oh, okay.
So he's blowing up her phone. And so I tell her, I'm like, just answer, right? Because I mean, maybe I don't know.
Supposedly he had the kids, right? Something like that?
Yeah, I don't know. And so she was like, no. And so we're out, hanging out, doing stuff. And later on in the night, he shows up. He pulls up.
Oh.
And we're in the car.
Damn.
Yeah, and so he opens the car door. I don't want to go too much into detail, right? But anyways.
Just go to the specific one.
Yeah.
Like, but okay, what was the outcome of that?
So the outcome of that, he starts, obviously he's upset, right?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, and so he tells me that they're not separated.
Oh, I'm telling you, became somebody's Sancho.
Yeah.
Undelivered. You were not, that was not your intent.
Involuntarily.
Yeah.
So he starts saying that they're still together, that they sleep in the same bed.
Wow.
And so that's not what she told me, right? Like she told me something completely different. And so he starts showing me pictures and text messages that like prove what he's saying.
Damn.
Yeah. And so, I mean, that ended like that. But she still tried to like tell me that it wasn't the case, but obviously he had receipts.
You're right. Those receipts are the ones that make you a true believer, right?
Yeah, and it's funny because after, like, I always like reflect on when these things happen or why just things happen in general in life, and I feel like I'm like, okay, like I had a debt to pay with karma, right?
But karma, I mean, people misplace karma. They think karma is getting back to you. Karma is actually a good intention. I think it's just the receipts that you owe, how you use.
Yeah, exactly. And so, and I feel like the whole time I believed her, like the stuff that she was telling me, because I was like, okay, like, sure. And I mean, looking back, Johnny and Ronnie have both pointed out red flags or
I saw a lot of red flags.
Yeah, things that didn't make sense. And I don't know. I guess for me, I was like, no, like she said she's being honest. So whatever.
Doesn't it hurt you that you were at least being honest?
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is I told her like everything, like the things that I've done wrong in my past relationships. I like pretty much let it all out there and like, hey, like this is the stuff that I've like messed up on, you know? And I've even told her, because we had a couple situations where I'm like, are you guys still together, you know? And she was always adamant that they weren't, that there was nothing going on. And it turns out that was not the case.
Dang, that's crazy. You know how I always send you stuff in social media, some funny stuff and some serious stuff, but most of the time you don't pay attention to them.
Right.
But on some social medias, it says that women always have plan A, plan B, and plan C. You know, probably you're her plan B.
Yeah, it seems like something like that. But then like I don't want to label women in general like, oh, this is how women are. Sure, there's women that do that, and there's men that do that too.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's crazy. I mean, I'm telling you, dating now in the 2000s and 25s and 20s, it's becoming harder. Like I said, I learned my lesson. I regret stuff that I did to almost ruin this relationship, but it has taught me a lot. And to be honest, um, based on your experience that you had too, I'm like grateful that it's kind of going good, okay for me. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was managed to. I mean, it's a work in progress, but it's hard. I mean, I get it. Relationships are not easy. They are mentally draining sometimes. They say that it's just being so accustomed to having that security that sometimes you stay with your significant others or for the kids' benefits. But if you're miserable, why don't you just walk away sometimes? It's not easy, right?
Yeah, it's not easy. Yeah, I think there's just like a lot of stuff that we deal with, right? Like as our own individual like people. And then you add that into a relationship and you add like the stress and the problems and the kids. And so then like a lot of resentment starts building up. And then, you know, maybe you do questionable things and that also builds resentment, and then there's no trust. And so it just evolves and snowballs into something that
It becomes toxic.
it becomes toxic. And if you're not like learning and actually like getting help, whatever that is, you know, like if you go to therapy or read books, like trying to improve yourself and kind of forgive, right? Because I think in relationships, you're going to have to forgive. Some stuff is more insane than others, right? Like there's some things that I'm like, that people go through that I'm like, that's wild. Like this situation. for
No,
example.
that was wild. Like, I mean, I'm happy that you came and you're able to tell the story. Like, I survived an accident, you survived an affair. You know, technically, that's what it was. I mean, even though you did it unintentionally, me está enredando la lengua, you know, but it could have gone for worse. You know, you never know because people in a moment of rage and jealousy, they do stupid shit.
Yeah, that's
You know,
true.
remember, I always tell you, just be careful. You know.
Yeah.
You know, because I remember, you know, hearing and reading about situations of people. I mean, like that last guy that I read about that, he came out of jail, and then they were like separated from the wife, but the wife had some dude. She was dating somebody. Confessed that to the ex-con, and the ex-con killed her.
Yeah, that's wild.
You know, I mean,
And I feel like it's not worth it, right? Like you're really going to throw your life away over a woman that obviously doesn't want to be with you.
yeah, but I think it goes both ways. Don't you hate it when they just string you along though?
Yeah, and I like when I think back about it, like that dude was pretty upset, but I mean, I think I would have reacted even like if, and I still don't know the truth because she's still saying that they're not together. He's saying that they are. Obviously, like I said, there's receipts. I don't know like what the, I mean, that's their issue, right? Like that's they need something they need to figure out, but I think I would have reacted even worse.
Yeah, I think so too. But that's why I'm telling you. But then again, I'm telling you, you're above 6 foot.
6'2", baby.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, meet the 2 out of the 666 rule. But anyways, I'm telling you, I'm happy that you survived. I'm happy that you know they gave you receipts and it didn't come out to the worst. And you know, again, red flags, right? You got removed from some of that.
Yeah, and I think like
That says a lot, you know.
yeah, there's things that happen for a reason, and like I think it happened the way it was supposed to. So I'm not upset about it.
Yeah, and you know the funny part, and I'm kind of getting scared now. It's like I was telling you last time we were having a conversation in private. Is that we need to be careful what we put out there in the universe,
Yeah, that's true.
right? Because, or what we manifest, or even if we're joking around, you know,
Yeah,
we were joking around. Hey, imagine, dude, if she's lying to you and blah
Johnny
blah blah
did, yeah, we did mention that and did bring that up, and it turned out
that night to happen.
It happened. So
But you know, like I said, it's hard. Like I get it. Like I know I'm at my point in life. We're going through everything that I've been in my past and my experiences. And I just want peace and quiet.
right,
I it's funny how they say being alone could be a scary thing because you could get so used to it and you like it and you're in your comfort zone. Doesn't, you know, And I like being by myself most of the times. I mean, the only person that I'm not trying to brown nose. I like hanging out with you because you're different and you motivate me and you're always there to pick me up, right? Like emotionally, or you always check up on me, and we check up on each other, which is a great feature, right?
Right.
I mean, everybody has their life, they have their problems, but you're good, like a good shoulder to cry on. I don't cry, but I'm just saying that's the reference. But we're there for each other. But like lately, I don't want to fight for stupid shit with nobody.
Right.
It
doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. If somebody tells me 1 + 1 is 4, I'll be like, okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Because, or they tell me, this color is black and it's blue. I'll be like, yeah, all right. First of all, I think I only have one more good fight in me, and then I get destroyed. But then I'm not a fighter. I'm more of a lover.
You know what I was thinking too, because like that situation could have turned
Deadly.
a different way,
Yeah.
right? Or not even just deadly. I just think like if it did get confrontational, and I mean, I'm not like out here trying to fight people, right? But
You're always trying to fight me, fool. I don't know why.
I'm not out here trying to fight people, but like I'm also gonna defend myself, right?
Right.
And so if it would have gone that way, because obviously, like I said, based off of what he's saying,
The receipts.
the receipts, like I think he would have been well in his right to fucking be pissed off, right? And so if it would have turned that way, then, and we do get whatever that looks like, right? Whether it's a physical altercation or, with me and Johnny, like we always carry some handguns. So luckily, like it didn't
Hey, don't be
escalate.
putting my business out there, Jason. I don't have nothing.
We like to carry. And so it could have like escalated into something, and then think about that. Either you get a charge and you go to jail, or even worse, like somebody could lose their life, right?
Right. Or even, the husband could maybe even kill her, like, in a moment of rage, I mean, it's, I've been in that situation. With my first divorce and everything like that, I thought that it was never going to come or happen, but it did happen,
Yeah.
I'm a true believer that your phone is like a journal. It's private. You don't, I mean, they sometimes say you have something to hide. Yeah, you kind of do, but because, and everybody's jealous in their own way, right? You could have a friend and you could say hi to her, or you could be nice, like, and then they miss, your other significant other might misinterpret it that as, you're trying to cheat on them, but you're just being yourself,
For me, like, I'm always open. Like,
You okay there? Do you have a little nod? You want to cry, Jason? It's all right. We could cry in this podcast.
A little teary eyed. No, but as far as my phone, I don't like care. Even with this girl that I'm talking about, I gave her my code so she could change like the music in the car.
Yeah, I just feel that it's private. I guess it's part of my trauma, and this is a new trauma that you have. But because of the phone, it started. I think because of social media, because I was right there. I was at that age. I'm in the age where we were barely getting into social media. MySpace. I forgot the other one. High Five, I think.
I don't know.
I think that was the Hispanic MySpace before Facebook was invented. We started getting phones with the Nokias with the text messaging.
Yeah.
So that led to a lot of.
But don't you think like not sharing your phone or your passcode creates some kind of like distrust, or maybe like it opens the door too? Because like obviously, like you said, I mean, I'm not saying like you necessarily have something to hide, but if your phone is private and your partner doesn't have access to it, that kind of just opens the door for me. And my thought is just to like have something hidden in there.
Well, I talked to my therapist about that, right? And he said like, yeah, your phone should be private because you might scroll or you want some eye candy once in a while, or it's just weird. Like I just don't want to see what my significant other's scrolling about or anything like that. Like if I find out that she's trying to kill me or what, that's gonna break my heart.
So you're more like out of sight, out of mind. Like you don't even want to see it.
I don't want to see who's trying to flirt with her, who's trying to one up me. You know, I know my worth. I know my
I want
worth.
to see it.
You know, I don't.
I'll look at it for you. Bring me Mari's phone.
All right. Why you have to put her name out there? I could keep my. No, I'm just
I'll
kidding.
bleep it out.
No, I'm just
It's a
kidding.
mystery.
All right. No, but the thing is, no, I just don't. It's just it's scary times, you know. And I guess it's part of my trauma. That's how I discovered that my first relationship was coming to an end. You know.
Through the phone?
Yeah.
Like you went through a text?
No, I unintentionally. No, I'm being honest. I like to share this because it's unintentionally, because I know my worth. I know the mistakes that I did to cause that relationship. I'm not saying it's all her fault, but you know, the way she did it was heartbreaking. I remember and that day my son had a soccer game and we were gonna all get together, and I think the Lakers were playing and there was gonna be a fight. I think the La Jolla fight or something like that. It was gonna be a fight and everything like that. And I remember the coach was Hispanic and he didn't speak any English, so he's all like wanted to buy a motorcycle.
Oh, okay.
So he's like, hey, he calls me like, hey, Johnny, could you find out about this motorcycle? Blah, blah, blah. Here's the number, you know? I was his assistant coach. So I was like, okay, cool. And so I'm like, I had my phone on me, but I was looking for something to write, like the number. I'm like, oh, give me 1 second. And I see her, she left her phone there, her work phone. So I grabbed her work phone to write down the number.
Yeah.
And when I opened it, I see these text messages.
That's how long ago it was.
Yeah.
Because he said open it like it was a flip phone.
Yeah, it was a flip phone. It was a Nextel. The chirping ones. The walkie-talkie ones.
Yeah.
That fucking asshole. But anyways. But prior to that, I had caught her too, like the red flags about her hiding her phone and being very possessive. Like she was never like that, and she would like sleep with it and be scared.
For me, that's a red flag.
Yeah. And I kind of noticed, and I called her out on that, and I'm like, "Who are you talking to?" And she's like, "Nobody." And I did kind of, you know, she was talking to the same person, right? But she's like, "No," and it was supposed to be a friend of the family. Well, it's kind of weird because it's her cousin's cuñado, so it's not her
Actual cousin?
and it's not her actual cousin,
Right.
but she's part of the family. But anyways, so I had already, so now she's not trying to make it obvious. So now she leaves her phone, but I like, you know, being so
Naive or what?
not naive, nonchalant. Like I said, I knew my worth. Back then I was doing okay before the recession hit. But when I opened it, I saw that, and that was the beginning of the end. You know?
So what did you see though? Me and the audience want to know.
So that night, Mexico was playing against somebody, and we all had to go to the Rose Bowl to watch the Mexican game. And so I was surprised that she didn't want to go. And I was like, what?
Red flag number one.
Oh, yeah. But we were having problems already, you know, because the first time that I got her with her normal phone, and then she started working, she got a work phone, so she had a two phones, right?
Like Kevin Gates.
Yeah. So that day she didn't go, and she was like very cold, like all the red flags, you know. And I knew we were having problems, so I ended up taking my son. When I opened the flip phone, it said, "Sorry that I didn't come to see you because I was at the game too."
He said, sorry, I didn't come to see you?
Yeah. So that's why she missed not going to the game with me.
Oh, she texted him.
No. Yeah, I guess they were planning to meet up.
While you were going to be gone at the Mexican game.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So that's what like made me go over the edge. You know, like I'm putting all my trust. You know, I got another house. I sacrificed a lot of stuff. I said, I mean, I'm not perfect. You know, at that time I didn't know my depression symptoms, and the market was already kind of coming into a recession. And so that's what I saw. And then I'm looking and I'm reading now, and they're like making all these plans, and he's like trying to like say sorry, I do want to see you, I do want to be with you, and she was replying some stuff too, like, yeah, I and then that's when I'm like, I thought this was over.
Yeah.
Like I knew who it was. I I was a little bit crazy, but I had my kids, so I was like, but that was the beginning of the end. That's why I think with the phones, I have a little bit of a trauma,
Yeah, but don't you think that it should make you want to like have an open like communication? Not like necessarily, because I don't think going through your partner's phone all the time is healthy either, and like snooping around. But if you're like, oh, let me see your phone so I can call somebody because my phone's in the room charging or whatever, and they're like, oh no, like that's a red flag. But or if you're like, hey, let me change the song. Like with that chick, I told you, I was like, oh, like the code is this.
Yeah, it's just that the point with me is I know how my significant other overreacts of stuff.
Oh, okay.
And I don't want her to overreact of anybody just saying hi to me or dropping me a like or something like that,
I guess that makes sense.
There's a lot of things. Like I said, relationships are hard. There's a certain line of no return, or certain lines that you cross that make it not able to,
I think like if two people are willing to work it out, like you can get through whatever.
Yeah, that's normal. I think you have to have something to offset the other thing that you did. You know what I'm talking
like
about?
Like the positives, right? The positives have to outweigh the negatives.
Well, like I think you have to both have like negative experiences. Like
you both have to do each other dirty is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think that's the only way it will work out, kind of, because then you have an ace on. I mean, it just depends on that connection that you have with that person.
It also like
it's hard. That's what I'm telling you. That's why I go to therapy, bro.
Yeah, because it's also like, oh, maybe let's say for like a couple that they both cheat on each other, right? But one of them cheated for 3 months and one of them cheated one night. Like, yeah, they both did, but there's also like an offset in that. So it's like, are you keeping tally and score of what the other person did versus what you did?
But it depends when and where. You know what I'm saying? It's just like if they're doing it
and
just
with who, right?
Yes, and it's like if they're trying to get back at you. Like
yeah,
like I'm to a point where if you start fighting for no reason and it doesn't make sense, I want to have a fight with your significant other. Like if I went gambling and I wasted the money for the mortgage, or I went to a strip club and I maxed out the credit cards, I don't want to fight for stupid shit if somebody started following me or I follow somebody and, now I have bad intentions.
So, yeah, I get what you're saying.
I mean, she has more. Yeah, one day, it was funny because I told her in the beginning one time sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
I said to her, the first time you deleted me from, like, we had a fight and, some flags there. She deleted me from her social medias, right? She deleted me from her social media. This is when we were just dating. And then she took me out of all her social media. I go, it's funny. Okay, I get it. You're jealous and this and that. The second time, it's already a red flag.
Right.
You do it the third time and you're done. Or even the second time, you're done. I'm not adding you back. It took me years to add her back.
And that makes sense because that's I had a situation too where it was like that, where every fight I would look and I was like, she was like off my social medias,
Yeah.
And then like a few days later, and then everything's cool, and then it's like, oh, a friend request.
Yeah, I told her straight out, like, nope, I'm not gonna add you until I'm ready. And she has a lot of followers. Last time, I mean, she lets me look at her phone and stuff like that. Like, but I try not to because I respect her privacy. But she has over like 2,000 friends, like 232 friend requests.
Dang, let's get some of those people to like the podcast page on Instagram.
No, and I tell her, go ahead and follow them. And she's like, but I don't know them. And I was like, no, go ahead, man. Maybe if you open an OnlyFans, we could have
Johnny's
following.
Trying to get multiple sources of income.
Yeah, dude, we're 2025. Why are we judging? Like,
that's true.
But anyways, no, I'm not.
All right, that's a question though. Like, seriously, I know you're joking, but would you allow in this situation, your wife, to start an OnlyFans? Seriously.
No.
No, right?
No, I mean, maybe. No.
Okay.
No.
I think I wouldn't either, right? Because like, if you're in a relationship, you're married, and then like them doing OnlyFans is kind of it's different. But situation number 2, and you guys can comment on YouTube or Instagram what you would do, right? Situation number 1, you're married, you have this relationship, and your wife is like, "Hey, I want to start OnlyFans." For Johnny, it would be a no. For me, I'm pretty sure it would be a no. But situation number 2, you meet this girl.
And she has an OnlyFans.
She's beautiful, right? You get to know her. She's perfect, nice, whatever. Then she tells you, "Hey, I need to tell you something. I have an OnlyFans." Now, you're already like knee deep into it, right?
Oh, I'll keep her. First off, if I could become a trophy husband like I am right now, I would definitely, and then I could get whatever I want, as long as it's an OnlyFans where she's just showing what she has.
What if it's like full blown?
No, I know, pues, I don't want.
Okay, but what if it's full blown, but she's like, "I need you to be the actor"?
Well, if I had a hot body and shit, and I was fucking amazing. I mean, I am amazing. I'm not gonna toot my own horn, but I mean, talking about like, fit and I'll probably, if I could participate, hell yeah.
Make some money?
Yeah. I mean, that's what a lot of people are doing now.
That would be hard for me because like I feel like, I don't know.
I just blur my face and my tattoos so people don't know it to me and shit.
I would know it's you. I'd be, "Hey, isn't that Johnny's girl? And why does that dude look like Johnny?"
Well, yeah. Well, that's kind of hard, right? Oh, what were you saying? You have OnlyFans subscriptions?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, shit. I get it for free. No, I'm just kidding.
Nah, I don't. But yeah, it would be tough if you're dating somebody and they have one of those. And I think it would be hard for me to take like that relationship seriously.
But how about she treats you like a king?
I think like I would hang around, but I don't think like I would.
She would be wifey material?
Yeah, it would be hard. Like it would have to be, she would have to be through the roof, like as far as like her personality.
She's like, "Oh, look, Jason, I just got you the new Rogue Light.
The new motorcycle?
CVO, $54,000 bike." And
All right, yeah, I might stick around.
And then she's like, "But one condition, you just have to be you're the love of my life.
We have to get married.
Yeah.
Got you a house, got you the new Harley.
Right? The matching truck with the Harley.
Yeah, I might have to deal with that.
But like,
I wonder why. Now looking at like, we always judge women, right, for like looking for dudes with money, and now we're talking about it, and it's like, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, but I mean, I think people. I mean, most people, I think they want to be have the power. Like I'm not ashamed if my significant other makes more money than me.
Yeah, I think it's more of a safety thing, right? A comfort thing.
Yeah, as long as she's not putting me down or, I think women love men that are providers or they could bring their own stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I get it if I was just a lazy kind of person and not getting any kind of income sources or anything like that.
Right.
Then, you have to be very lucky if you get somebody that, because I kind of know that financial is one of the biggest problems of divorce.
Right.
Everybody, it's unless you're making good money, but it's a 2 household income, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I think men sometimes fear that,
Yeah, or they feel like demasculated.
Well, I kind of, I was thinking about it, like our last conversation, how I always bug you about the 666, and I tell you I'm shit out of luck out of that one. I don't meet none of the criteria and shit.
That was funny.
I used to meet one, but not anymore. But anyway.
Yeah,
but the point is, I guess we men have a thing. We say, we want a lady on the streets, but a freak in the sheets.
Yeah,
and I think that's what we like. I think we like, as men, we like to get nurtured, and I kind of see it. And like I read stuff or I look at the internet, and I like looking at positive things, and it says. And I see women's perspectives of like giving advice to women why you lose a good man or why your man is trying to cheat on you or change you for someone else. Because they say when we start dating, don't we all start courting the women and try to treat them nice, bring them flowers, bring them chocolates, treat them like queens and princesses. And then they switch it around and they become toxic. I mean, it goes both ways, but most of the time, like like in your case, right?
Right.
On that last first date that you went out after so many years,
Right.
she became controlling.
Right.
And when in the beginning it was all fun and nice, and the honeymoon stages where, you know, she was liking your stuff and telling you, oh, hey, it's oh, that's awesome that you're doing a podcast. That's awesome that you're hanging out with Johnny. And then later on, when things started getting a little bit serious, she totally changed on you.
Yeah.
And it kind of pushed you away.
Right.
Which you did the right thing because you walked away at the right time, right?
Right.
And that's what they say, that when women start treating the man bad, you start reciprocating the same treatment.
Right.
You
And
know?
it goes both ways, right?
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, there's dudes that are fucking dicks, you know.
Right.
But like me, I'm a nice guy.
I think I'm a nice dude.
Yeah,
too.
you too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's certain situations that they kind of like push you away, and then you kind of divert, or you try to see somebody. I mean,
You know what I think is crazy with that particular situation is like, and I think I told you this when we started
what situation? Sorry.
the first,
Oh,
the one you're talking about.
yeah.
At first, like she would like all my social media stuff and like comment and like be like super supportive of like stuff I was posting, even if it was just like selfies or whatever I was doing. And then it transitioned to her like no longer doing that. And then after that, it transitioned to her being upset because I'm posting stuff online, you know, almost like, oh, you're trying to get attention, or I don't know like what her thought process was, but that's pretty much what I got from it, is that she felt like I was like trying to get attention from people on social media.
Right, but do you see that's what I'm telling you, social media, it's the root of all evil, because it opens doors, right? Doors that sometimes I mean, I closed my Facebook for a while, for
Right.
like a long time, and I only had Instagrams, and I really don't. I started hating Facebook because there's a lot of people that they're always happy, and they never had like no mistakes in their life.
Yeah. Just the perfect life.
Yeah, I started calling it hate book. But I mean, I wasn't envious, but I'm just saying, like, be yourself, you know, and it opens doors that could lead to wrong ways.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's normal. We want to post like when we're on vacation or the highlights, you know, like,
that's why I only post food.
and that's what like as social media is like the highlight of your life. You don't post all the issues. Like we're talking about my situation that I just went through because of this podcast. If not, I'm not going to post that online.
No, you won't. No, I'm
I'm
just
not
kidding.
going to go on there and
Yeah, right, but I mean, like I said, it's complicated. Like, and dating now, it's very complicated. I mean, there's a lot of women. Like I said, I give props to them that they're alpha women, that they're making good money, they're handling their own. You know,
but even women that aren't, like if there's women that maybe don't make 100K, but they're good women, they do their stuff and they handle their business.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're doing their stuff, but it's just I think the best thing is just I was reading something on that's saying that women have multiple sources of venting and emotional support, and we men are more reserved. You know?
Yeah. I think that used to be really true with myself, but even like that night that this happened, I just jumped on the phone and I called you and I called my other friend, and like I just need to I need to get this out. Like I don't know how this
That's
is
good.
happening.
That's actually good that you did that, because I remember when I was going through my shit, I had nobody to talk to, and I wanted somebody to talk to.
Right.
And that's why, but you know what's the scary part, Jason? Remember, like, I text you randomly before all of this happened. And I say, hey, are you okay?
Dude, like an hour before all this went down, Johnny texted me and he's like, hey bro, are you good? Or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I'm like, I almost thought it was weird. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Like, you know.
And I was just checking on her. I had like this bad feeling. I'm psychic, Jason.
No, yeah.
I see dead people.
It tripped me out. Like after the fact, it tripped me out because I'm like, dang, Johnny like text me, like I said, like an hour before all this went down and was like, hey, are you good? Just randomly.
Right? Yeah, it's like, but anyways, I had, you know, this crazy, you know how they say about shit. I always have like that feeling. One time it might sound corny, you know, but you know how I felt that? I felt one time an earthquake coming. I felt one time danger coming at a party. And I was with everybody. I go, I don't feel right. Like I feel like something's bad's gonna happen. A couple minutes later, that's why I'm saying be careful what you put out there in the. A couple later, there was like almost a shootout and shit like that. We almost, it was just crazy. And sometimes I get those bad feelings, and I stay on those intuitions. Like I believe sometimes it's a warning sign, and I see sometimes coming. I mean, I wish I could see like the lottery numbers or something like that.
That'd be beneficial if you can send those over to me.
Right, but that's crazy, right? That's like you're living proof.
Yeah. Yeah,
because the texts are there. Like I'm not making this up.
No, yeah, it tripped me out after because I was like, that's weird that Johnny messaged me and told me that.
Right, but anyways, I'm happy that you survived.
You survived a motorcycle accident,
right? I think yours was worse. No, I'm just kidding. You were lied to, man. You were used and abused,
man. Yeah, it sucks, especially.
I think you felt a connection too.
Yeah, well, that's what like the worst part is. Like, and I told her this is like I've been honest with you. I've been upfront. Like all my stuff. And I asked her for that in return.
Right.
I asked her for the same, but it didn't happen, and that's okay. I think everything happens for a reason. And I just go back to like the Mel Robbins thing where she says, let people be who they show you that they are, right?
Well, yeah, and remember I tell you don't see the people's true color until you move in with them, and
then by then you're already like too deep into it. Yeah.
And then or get to know the family first too.
Yeah.
The surroundings. Just look at the red flags. But you know what I would love? I would love to have a woman's perspective on all of this kind of stuff because
should we have her come on? Hey, come on.
Oh, right. No, I want to bring the dude.
The dude?
Yeah, like, hey, how does it feel?
Like what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How emotionally wrecked you are, I mean, I could share some of his pain, but it'll kind of be awkward.
And I've been in that situation too. Like I've been in his shoes and, I had an affair too where, like I've seen
both sides of the story.
I've seen an affair in all three perspectives.
What do you mean three perspectives? You threw me off.
There's three people, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like in an affair, there's three people. And so I've seen this go down in like all three perspectives.
Nice.
And like I said, that's why I think it's like something that I just had to like experience because of the karma the debt that I owe. So it is what it is.
I always say treat people like you want to get treated.
Yeah. And hopefully me and Karma are good. We're set.
I know Karma. She used to work with us.
Oh, yeah. She was a crazy lady. Huh?
Remember I put her on check one time in front?
Yeah, she was wild.
But anyways, it's crazy. It's very crazy. Like I said,
also, let's talk about people that have had experiences with affairs, either people cheating, you being the third party, like this situation here.
Yeah, we need more followers. Please let us share our podcast too with other people. I know. Well, I told you I found the counter of the 666 for the guys.
Oh, let's hear it.
No, I told you that man won a lady in the streets and a freak in the sheets.
That's it?
Yeah, I think that's it.
I mean, that kind of seems like
I think that's basic. It's two. It's just two things. No, but I guess we just like to be pampered too.
No, I think like for me, like when a woman is nurturing, is like a green flag where they like even like small stuff. Like let me get that. Let me get you a plate. Let me fix you a plate.
Yeah. Yeah. I just, like I said, I'm at a point in my life that I don't want no more drama. I want good drama, but I don't want to fight for stupid shit. I just want to be in peace. I don't want to, I've been through so much, even last week,
Yeah.
And I think knowing my triggers now and knowing what upsets me and what makes me depressed or anxious, knowing how to control the situation now. Before I used to have a very explosive attitude. And I think that was one of my biggest downfalls, but I didn't know why. But like you said, man, there's a lot of trauma in me that I never ever was able to take it out. Like I had nobody. Seriously, I had nobody. Like I had my uncles, but they would be like, just fucking snap out of it, and be a man,
Yeah, and that's the thing too is like with
But he was a boomer.
the friends that I have, Johnny, included in that. Like I have a few friends, and when I do share these situations,
I
right,
only have one, and it's you, Jason.
it would be easy for them to be like, oh, I told you so, or but even when I would share like these red flags that I would see, and I was still choosing to like believe that person, like, oh yeah, that's weird, right? Like it doesn't make sense, but she said this, so she's like, I would just trust that she was being honest, and then you and like our friend circle are like, okay, like if if that's what you're gonna choose, like kind of like not judging, not telling me, no, you need to do this. Like that's the good thing about like the people that I have in my friends, like they'll hear me out, they'll share their perspective, but also it's like Jason's gonna live his life. And I feel like me as a person, I always have been that too, where I'm like, I'm gonna do what I feel is best, even if it comes back and
Bite you in the ass.
like this situation here.
Yeah, I don't want to be the person. I always tell you, I don't want to be that person that I told you so.
Right. And Johnny normally is.
Yeah, I've been the voice of reason. Sometimes I don't follow my own advice, but that's why I have Jason. So that's where we're the yin and the yang.
Yeah. And it's all learning. Like the experiences that I did have, like we did have a good connection. We did have a lot of fun, which is one of the reasons why I feel like I think we were both drawn to each other. But obviously,
everybody had different circumstances in life.
Yeah, and I think like honesty is probably.
And I have a question for you in the audience. At what point in the relationship, even if you're boyfriend or girlfriend or you're married, when you separate from that person, do you cut all ties with that person's family because it makes it awkward, or do you still become friends? Like I think my point is, when you get divorced, you divorce her and her family, unless she stays in the family, which is another story that I would, when I have the opportunity to share and I'm ready for it, I'll share it. But I want to get somebody's perspective. Like if you get separated from that, because you can't be friends with that person, right? Even though you try, I think it's hard being friends with your ex.
Yeah,
I mean, sure. You could have, if you have kids, of course you have to communicate, but it's still awkward,
Yeah, I think like, if there was feelings there at some point, like it's going to be hard to just be neutral. And you could try to fake it, and people do, right? Like people do try to fake it.
I mean, I know you have to co-parents for the health of the kids, but like I said, at what point, I mean, I think for me, I think once you're out of that relationship, you're out of everybody's life, even though some of them want to be in your life, because it kind of ruins the new atmosphere that you're trying to create with your significant other. I mean, you can't tell everybody to fight the battles that you had, but as a respect for that partner, I think you need to stay away from that partner's family, because that family has that old partner has a new member, significant other that wants to bring that person into that family, and now it's hard because you put that family in a position where you have to choose, and like who's cooler, or who do I like to hang around with more,
Yeah, it's a awkward situation for sure.
What would you do?
No, for me, like I don't necessarily like cut people off, like from my past relationship. I don't like cut people off, but I'm not out here like, hey, what are you guys doing this weekend? Like I'm not like that. Like if I see them, oh, hey, what's up? Or even like a lot of them are still on my social media. I don't see like anything wrong with that. I just think that obviously it's not going to be the same, like where we're going to be hanging out. Or
right, you maintain your distance, right? I mean, I'm not saying cut them off complete, but you maintain your distance. You don't make it like a priority.
Hey,
right?
What's for dinner tonight?
Right, or hey, we're going to have a party, come over, Oh, well, I'm not going to invite your ex, which is my, like say for instance, it's my cousin. I'm not going to invite my blood cousin, right? But because I want you to come because you're cooler, And like, It makes it awkward for them, because then you see the post and make social media. I think you cut all ties. I think, you distance yourself, and you're not rude about it. But I have people too that are still on my social media that, I say hi or things like that. Or I had uncles that will look for me. Some of them passed away, and I feel bad that they're in there. I wasn't there, but they would always look for me. But anyways, we'll leave that for another subject or another podcast. And again, sorry for not having another podcast. Like I said, me and Jason were going through a lot last week, and it was our birthday weekend.
Yeah, we took a week off, but it's okay.
We need to. We give you guys a break too, because some of you guys get annoyed by me.
Some of you guys. I think we should start wrapping up. So we'll go to the comments that we had on YouTube. Our last video, which was 2 weeks ago. Rhino Man, 1999. With relationships, I used to tell my son, take care of you first. You can't take care of someone else if you aren't in a good spot. For the most part, he listened. LOL.
Nice. Again, I want to thank you guys for the few of you that listen and comment on our podcast. I really appreciate the love that you guys are showing, and thank you, Rhino Man. And yep, I mean, it's so funny because I always tell my son or my kids, but they don't listen to me, so I tell my friends to tell them, and they listen to my friend, and it's the same advice that I'm giving to them, but they think my friends are cooler. So
does your partner ever do that, where you tell her something and then she's like, no, and then somebody else, one of her friends, whatever, tells her, and she's like, oh my God, this person had a great idea?
Oh fuck yeah. Fuck, I hate that shit.
Yeah, I've done.
I want to punch me in the face.
Yeah, that'll make you want to pull your hair out. And that's why I'm bald.
Oh shit, damn. Tanto?
Yep. Okay.
Multiple times?
Yeah.
God damn.
Next comment is Mr. Elijah. Shout out to Elijah.
Among the Eight?
Yeah.
Superstar?
He said, great episode. I'm still astounded by the love and support. It means a lot to have been invited and will gladly join again down the road. In terms of dating, I don't attribute any numbers or anything. It all comes down to compatibility, which is true, really good. I look at characteristics and the quality of the person my partner is or could be. I also agree it's better to build together than to try to put two established people together. There is such a thing as being too independent, not being able to compromise with a partner. Sorry, guys. Okay, so that was the end of that. And then there's another paragraph that says, sorry, guys, Johnny was wrong. LOL. It's hit us up.
Oh.
Shoot us up is inviting a drive-by. LOL. Shoot me a message or shoot me an email, etc. is a thing, though.
Oh, that's right. Remember I confronted you about that? And
yeah.
Everybody's making me feel dumb. But again, you guys are a different generation than mine. I grew up in the 80s.
Johnny talks slang like when Jesus Christ was on earth.
Yeah, so that's why some of you guys may not understand me, and some of you are the younger audience. I need some OGs, man. I need some OGs
people your age don't listen to podcasts.
That's right. I'm telling you, because we were the bridge. We're called Exlenials because we were right there where the digital met the analog. Analog met digital. So it's crazy. Yeah, you're right. A lot of people don't know what's a podcast. So I'm shit out of luck. So sometimes, but at least I proved my point, right? I showed you the what they said at slang, the slang dictionary that shoot us up means like asking for a deep favor or something. I showed you and you told me to save it.
Yeah, but you didn't. It's okay.
Yeah.
Johnny did find a small little article on Google that says that his slang is correct. Me, Elijah, and the rest of the world will continue to say no to shoot us up.
Oh, right here. I found it. In 1980 slang, shoot us up generally meant to give someone a drug, or it could also mean playfully way to request someone to do a favor or to help out, or necessarily not involving drugs, according to Babbel and according to other articles. You see? I remember that.
Okay. We'll let Johnny have that one. The next comment is Senor A05.
Shout out to Senor 805.
Shout out. So many good laughs. Amazing episode. In my opinion, when I see an older guy with a younger woman, I always think that the guy is rich and that she's just waiting for him to pass on and leave all the money to her so that she can go and live her life with all his money.
So what do you think about that, Jason?
Oh God, why you gotta do this?
Knock it off, please.
Robotic. Robotic.
All right. So what do you think about that?
Stop, please. Knock it off.
All right. You're good.
Hello?
Oh, no, you're not. Now you're good. Sorry. Technical
difficulties. All right, we're back.
Little laugh.
Let's see. We were talking about the dude with the older dude with the young chick. Yeah, I mean, it could be it could be that she's in there for the money and waiting for him to pass. But hey, some of us make investments in one ways, others make investments in different ways.
Right. But I was reading an article in the New York Times saying that Generation C prefers to date older men because, like, the older men, like older millennials, older Generation X, are a little bit old school, and now they're saying that that generation, they like kind of ghost, or they don't apply the necessary work. You know, they feel entitled that, okay, you want to be with me, you're gonna be with me because you like what you know, they don't put the work in it. They don't bring you flowers, they don't take you out to dinner. If they take you out to dinner, it's like we're going 50-50. You know, you pay for your dinner, you know, or I'll meet you there. They don't even want to pick you up, or they Uber. It's crazy how they were talking about it. Like, they're being more individualized, being individual and not putting that effort there. And so they're saying that they like a little bit of older men because
The old school type.
like,
Yeah, that makes sense.
so shoot me up. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, shoot, Johnny, please, somebody. And then he says, kind of like the beginning of How to Be a Latin Lover. If you guys have ever watched that movie, LOL.
That's a good movie.
No, I haven't watched it,
Jason doesn't see any good movies.
dude. That's my life. I've never heard of Shoot Us Up. Definitely sounds like an invitation to some bad things. Hit us up is the correct way. See?
Yeah, that's you guys' slang, but that's my slang from the 80s, man.
All right. Hit us up. Definitely don't shoot us up.
Yeah, well, I found it, so I feel good. I don't feel ignorant or displaced. I mean, I know I'm displaced because, like I said, we're different perspectives.
Yeah. Anyways, those are the comments that we had.
See, I went from lowriders, from people loving Teslas now, you know, muscle cars. People are like, I don't know, it's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, Teslas are cool.
I went from like dope ass rap to what the fuck is this?
To mumble rap?
To what the fuck is this? Like, some of them it's all right, but you know, like,
Johnny refuses to listen to anything that has recently come out, which is kind of annoying. I like old school rap and I like the new stuff too. Some of it, obviously not all of it, but I also listen to like country and all kinds of stuff.
howdy partner.
It just depends what mood I'm in.
All right. Well, again, so that yeah, man. I guess everybody's looking for a sugar daddy and a sugar mama sometimes. That's why you're a lover. You have to see that movie. It's good.
Not even like a sugar mama or a sugar daddy, right? I think it's just
There's some people that are doing that.
yeah, but I mean, there's
Not the
only
majority, but
there's only a certain amount of rich folk around here, right?
yeah.
In the world. So some of you ladies are gonna have to work.
Right. Some of you are trophy wife material. Some of you are warehouse material. I'm just kidding. Just fucking around.
Some of you guys are gonna be at Amazon. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We appreciate you listening. Don't forget to like and comment. Follow us on Instagram, 2Js in a Pod, and you can listen to us on YouTube and watch the beautiful video, or Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We're also on there too if you want to listen. We appreciate you guys, and we'll for sure be back next week with another episode. Comment. What were we talking about? Oh, the hypotheticals, right?
The hypotheticals, and then when do you cut off the relationship with your ex-partner's family, or the group that you had, especially the family.
If you go through a separation, do you cut off your ex-partner's family?
Yeah, do you separate from them?
Yeah,
technically?
not necessarily cut them off, but
Yeah, separate. Like you put your distance.
yeah.
Some people don't, so it's kind of crazy. But anyways, I have stories that later on, probably in episode 100, I'll share.
All right, guys, don't forget to love yourself, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Peace out.